On September the 9th, 1980, the iron bulk oil carrier MV Derbyshire was sailing in near Japan bound for Okinawa, having sailed for 2 months. On board were 43 or 4 crew. On the 9th of September it began to near Typhoon Orchid, so the captain, it is believed that the captain, following traditional practice at the time, had the sea at a slight angle to the bow. Well, heavy waves start to pound. At this stage, well, the forward cargo hatch carrier, or the cargo hatch carrier that goes to the forward, like for ventilation, is blown away. This allows loads of, well, one of the hatches is blown away, but one of the small hatches is blown away, allowing tons of water in. Well, water enters through the next hour. The bow starts to sag lower. Also, this is my first video that I'm aware of with speaking over it. Sorry in advance for bad audio, or if I make any sounds, for example coughing. I've had a cough recently and it'll probably cause me to cough a bit. Sorry in advance. Also, thank you so much for 50 subscribers. After the highest tank at the forward end before the cargo area has filled, or the bow sits lower, well, another hatch is blown open. This allows the ballast tanks in the water to slowly fill. They fill, taking 12 hours to fill. At some point, maybe either before the first hatch was blown off, or maybe even after, a call was sent from the Derbyshire saying they would wait in Typhoon Orchid until they were gonna wait it out. But no one would ever hear from the Derbyshire again. Derbyshire's bow starts to fill with water, well, starts to angle down towards the sea. All the cargo hatches are still intact, but there's been a big flaw, well, like, maybe like not a flaw, but something like, well, designing that'll, like, filling that'll be a critical role for her sinking. Since the cargo she was carrying, which was iron ore, is quite a heavy cargo, several ballast tanks, or several of the cargo tanks, sorry for not saying it the right thing. Several cargo holds, all the cargo holds some were more full than empty, and others were more empty than full on iron ore, but this would soon come to play a big factor in her sinking due to the amount of empty space. The Derbyshire starts to become more sluggish and slow as its bow has been now fully filled with water. It had been built 4 years earlier, and was one of several cargo vessels lost between 1975 and 1980. Other notable ones are the Edmund Fitzgerald and the MS Munchen. It's likely that at the stage where she began to sink rapidly, it was at night, when all the crew would have been asleep. As a result, and as well due to as a result, since a lot of the crew would have been asleep, so it was night, maybe even the entire crew, no one would have survived. Thanks so much for 50 subscribers as well. Waves start to sweep over the forecastle. The forecastle on other ships is raised, but on the Derbyshire it's quite difficult for protection because it's level with a lot of the rest of the deck. The cargo hatches start to become more exposed and are under more pressure, and the water which starts to build over them. A large wave crashes over the bow and goes over the first cargo hatch number 1. The pressure is finally enough for the cargo hatch number 1 to break, allowing in tons of seawater. As it was partially filled, this allows it to fill up quite quickly, and the bow rapidly starts to sink. Unfortunately, this time it would have been night, so there's not a lot of hope for crew members inside for escape. Safety precautions and measures would be taken after the disaster. As the bow angles towards the seafloor slowly, cargo hatch number 2 gives way. This allows even more water in, and the bow starts to quickly angle towards the seafloor as the deck is rapidly covered in water. Cargo hatch number 3 is driven inwards as well. Shortly afterwards, the cargo hatches start to implode, or the remaining cargo hatches start to implode in order. An underwater implosion occurs as well, damaging and twisting the bow away. The accommodation as well starts to separate after a second implosion. These 2 implosions have now split the Derbyshire into, roughly split the Derbyshire into 3 sections, which will disintegrate, which will fully come apart underwater. The accommodation block is finally ripped and twisted away from the vessel. The bow immediately rapidly sinks for the bottom, while the entire vessel rapidly sinks and heads for the bottom. The accommodation block, which is now badly damaged, separates underwater, and all the crew members that were in it are killed. It is estimated that Derbyshire is shown in the real-time sinking. From first cargo hatch imploding to exactly going under fully, it is estimated to have taken only 2 to 3 minutes to have sunk. May the 44 crew members on board rest in peace. Thanks for watching. Good night.